This is the chart of Pedro Sanchez, who is the Prime Minister of Spain. And we want to take a look at his chart to better understand what happened yesterday when the power went down and nobody could understand it in all of Spain and Portugal. Now, it's always good to check out the head of state chart as opposed to the chart of the country, which actually doesn't give us as much information. And we're going to look back to the Mars period that started at the end of last year. So this transit isn't even new. It's actually been going on for quite some time. We actually want to go back to the end of 2024 when he was already undergoing some scrutiny for the way that he had handled the Valencia floods from October 2024. At that time, he released a third aid package, which was considered like a little bit too late. And in addition, he was also undergoing a lot of talks with the Catalan Party, which helped bolster his political position. Now, this is really important because at that time, Mars was making its first impasse over an important part of the chart. Mars is him, it represents his partners, and it also represents the public, so super important for a politician. Now let's fast forward to the end of December 2024 when his wife is also undergoing some scrutiny due to corruption charges. And at this time, Mars is making his second impasse, this time retrograde, over that important point that I mentioned before. And remember, Mars is partners, and here we go, this time relating to Begonia. Fast forward to the end of April, which in fact yesterday was the day that Mars made that final impasse over the important point that I mentioned, and was relating to the way that he deals with the public. In this case, we had this major outage which he was trying to handle, and at the same time, Pluto was going over his north node. Now, this is in the sign of Aquarius, which has to do with the future, which has to do with grids and the way that we're all interconnected. Not to mention that there was a huge new moon right on his ascendant, and Uranus was involved at the time that the electricity went down. If we want to take it a step further, he also had to announce today that he wasn't planning on resigning as a result of allegations regarding to his wife. So here we see him, his partners, and the public being activated. If we want to take it an even step further, we can even go to look at the chart of him and his wife and see that they were both impacted by the Mars retrograde. So my point is, we haven't even started talking about the eclipses, the Saturn transits, and we already have a pretty good sense of what's going on for the country. So if you want to know about a country, check out the head of state.